Hello everyone, my name is Juan Leonel and this is another amazing afternoon in Bangkok. I'm here meeting my friend Naomi. Who is Naomi?
Hello, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I am half Swiss, half American, and I've been a digital nomad, aka traveling and working for on and off the last 3 to 4 years. But my home is New York. But I'm currently living here because of my boyfriend. His business is here. So, yeah.
Digital nomad, how and what moment do you become a digital nomad?
So for me, it actually started because I was feeling very conflicted between my life in New York, where I spent the majority of my adulthood, and my family that lives in Switzerland. And I just kind of ended up bouncing back and forth, and I gave up my apartment. I put some of my stuff in storage. I sold most of my stuff, and I just was living remotely. And I was actually, at that time, I was still a full-time artist. So I was just doing that.
Artist doing what?
Music, actually.
And what instrument? We're singing.
I was doing everything. I was doing
I know you play piano.
Songwriting, producing, DJing, singing, just a bit of everything.
You know my flaws are my strengths. Together we'll go to great lengths. I knew that I had to have you, feel myself beside you. If you love me, say true. Be nobody but you, 'cause I love the way you are. If you love me, say true. Be nobody but you, 'cause I love the way you are.
Just to pay the bills, basically.
Right. But you were happy and you were doing what you love, but you still...
It was a struggle. I was a broke, starving artist, but I was living the dream, and I was
Starving artist, that's beautiful.
That's when I talk about it, it's a different life. I don't even mention that much anymore, but if we want to go really, really back where it started, it was for me that I was I don't know where to live, I can't decide, and then I was just kind of...
But when you were doing this, you were, as an artist, you were thinking this is what I'm going to do the next 5-10 years, or...
I was just kind of going with it, really.
Okay.
I was just going with it, and then I changed career directions. I was doing real estate for a while, so I had to be in one place. And then I was I have to start traveling again. I wanted to start my own business, so I started my own business, and I could do that remotely. So that's kind of how I ended up here.
And why Thailand?
It was my entryway to Asia, because I'd never been to Asia, and I was
That was you just thought it was the easiest.
My best friend David was you should go to Bangkok. I was cool. I booked a ticket, and I left in 10 days. I was
oh, that fast?
Yeah. I was if I'm gonna do it, I
from New York.
Now. Yeah, from New York.
Wow.
I was guess I'll just book a ticket to Bangkok.
Where is your friend now?
Figure it out. David?
Yeah.
He actually visited me in April.
Cool. So you just randomly decided to okay, let's go to Thailand. You didn't make much research. You just booked the flight, or?
I did know that there were a bunch of digital nomads in Chiang Mai.
Ah.
I was maybe I could make some friends there, network, business stuff, whatever. And then I actually never really ended up going to Chiang Mai. I was there for 2 to 3 weeks in total, but I just stayed in Bangkok because it's way cooler. In my opinion, Chiang Mai is very small. I prefer city
life.
You know how I am. I'm more cosmopolitan.
Yeah, I know. And you're always looking flawless, fashionable, and
I'm not like that. But I just.
You're so worried about.
I'm a city person.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Well, on the other hand, it's me who wants to go abroad to do hike and trekking.
You're an outdoor person. I'm the opposite.
Yeah. Actually, when I was in New York for 10 days, I was this is a place that I want to live. This is a place that I want to stay. No. And I was so into that experience. But I think we can. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but so far this is kind of New York a little bit.
Honestly, this is my Southeast Asian substitute for New York. There aren't many places in the world that I would live, and Bangkok is a huge city. It has tons of skyscrapers. It has a metropolitan vibe. It has a diversity.
Yeah.
New York is definitely more dangerous crime-wise and physical safety-wise than Thailand. But I was really scared for my health. I was really scared. When I went to Colombia 2 years ago, I got really sick in my stomach, and it was like the worst experience ever.
You were by yourself? You were with friends? Or?
I was with my two best friends, and one of them is a doctor, thank God. But I was so traumatized by like the pain that I was like, I can't get sick yet. So I was really scared at first, like dengue, you have to get like all these vaccinations. I was like, oh my God. But now I'm like, fine.
I know that you're a vegan. How hard is to travel the world and being a vegan?
It takes effort. Like, sure, it would be easy if, like, I didn't really give a shit and just ate everything. But it's way more rewarding for me to sometimes make a bigger effort to find the right food than to feel shitty afterwards.
Right.
Eating stuff that I don't find, like, ethically correct or that makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that hard. It just takes, like, effort. Actually, when I first arrived in Bangkok,
you made that research first.
The first, I had a hard time because I had no idea what I was doing. I was staying in an Airbnb. I had like my own apartment, and it was a beautiful apartment, but it was like a little bit further out, and I didn't know what restaurants. Like I didn't know how to get to the restaurants. I was just like,
right.
So there, I was actually constantly hangry because I felt like I was never full.
Right.
But then once I moved...
7-Eleven was...
Like, what is there 7-Eleven? Chips? Soda? Like, how is that sustainable?
Yeah, like cookies and chocolate.
Like, so I kind of, like, did that, honestly. Like, I ate, like, soy fruit and, like, shit for, like, 7 days.
Those noodles.
Yeah, like, awful. I really genuinely felt awful. And then I moved...
How long was that?
Like 6 days. Which is really long.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I moved to like the Sukhumvit area, like Phnom Penh.
Yeah.
And
well, for those who don't know, Sukhumvit is one of the most cosmopolitan areas in Bangkok. Where you can find almost everything there.
Yeah. And they have vegan restaurants like everywhere. So.
This year is when you started to build your own brand.
Like a personal brand.
Yeah, you did like your Instagram and website and that's and I saw when we met you were having I don't know like 4,000 or 5,000 followers and now you're like above 10K. How that grows so fast in just a couple months?
I love that question because I never have any practical tips because I think practical tips are literally worthless because it's about like the fundamentals of like content.
Right. People
underestimate the quality of their content and their feed. Like I know everybody talks about feed, but it's true. Your feed is like the storefront.
Yeah.
And people who look at your profile are walking by the store. Is it nice? Do I want to follow or not?
Your case that is super organized with color patterns and line and style and phrases. To me, it makes a little bit more sense, and I'm trying to follow that. But sometimes keep that structure. Sometimes it kills other content that you can. Sometimes.
Yeah. I usually just like slowly take it a little bit a different direction, but then it's not just one photo. It's like 3 or 6.
You rethink beforehand.
It's like a transformation. It's like a constant process of like, ooh, these photos are going to be like more negative space and like less volume, but then there's going to be like 3 or 5 or 6, and then it feels like your feed is growing. Mm-hmm. That's what I've been trying to do. I think it works okay.
How do you manage to travel so much?
I actually don't feel like I travel a lot. Like, I settled down here in September. I came back in September and then I stayed. And now it's January. And before that, I guess I was traveling a lot, but I also, you have to consider like, I was a digital nomad. I didn't have a home. I didn't have to pay rent. I paid for like hotels and Airbnbs, and that changes everything.
Right.
And if you can work remotely, you just have to find a place where you can focus, where there's Wi-Fi, where you can be productive, but that could be anywhere.
Your job as a digital nomad is...
So I'm from the field of personal development, like coaching, basically.
How do you do that?
How do I do that?
How people reach you and say like, hey, I need you to coach me. And
there's a few ways to do it. Like old school is like word of mouth. Newer stuff is like automated sales funnels where you where you promote like a free webinar and like a free training, and you have like you provide content, and that's like and then there's the organic way of content, which is publishing stuff about like personal development or whatever your niche is,
Right.
and then just like putting your name out there.
And then you have meeting with these people on Skype, and then you see, okay, how can I help you?
So it depends like what niche you're in. Like there's so many different coaches.
You must have some.
There could be like a mindset positivity coach, or there could be like a fitness coach, or there could be like a digital nomad coach. Like,
what's yours?
So I generally work with like millennial females who are trying to change their careers.
Okay.
But I also have cases that are like very personal that I can't talk about.
Oh no, of course, yeah, for sure.
But I work with millennials.
Well, you were saying before that Bangkok for you is a little bit like the Asian version of.
It's my Southeast Asian substitute of New York.
That's the word. That's huge. I mean, I've been in New York, and I remember when I was there. This is the kind of city that I want to spend my time, or I want to be here and live here. I couldn't do that, but I did it here. But now that I've been here for about 7-8 months, I guess, just in Bangkok, I started to realize, okay, done it. It was fun, but I think it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I'm more.
Which it will be for me too. Like for me, I always know I was going to go back to New York, and I don't know for you.
What?
How do you feel about like moving on?
I feel excited, honestly, because it's another challenge. It's something that I don't know much about, but I'm up for the challenge, I guess.
Awesome.
I really want to see what's next for me. So I think it's time. It's time to keep exploring and growing, and trying to make my feed looking awesome every time.
Always a feed.
It's always for the feed. So if you guys really want to get inspired about this beautiful lady and see the amazing feed that she have on Instagram, go and check it out. She's sharing all about traveling, fashion, what else?
Just kind of like my life.
Well, yeah, and if you really want to keep in touch with her, please do, because she's coaching millennials. I think she's a very inspirational woman, and it's necessary to have these kind of people in this world that sometimes is not as pretty as we think, but is really amazing. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you all you guys. You know how this works. Like, subscribe, share, all that things, and see you on the next one. Bye. Ciao.